Welcome, everybody, to the Prep Phase podcast, presented and brought to you by Predator Gaming. Thank you very much for joining us on this 5th episode of the show. It's the welcome back, we are alive.
Yeah.
And doing well, thriving, slay queening, surviving, as they would say. But welcome to it. So happy to have everybody back on here for another episode where we talk about Rainbow Six Esports, interview somebody real nice and fun, but also mostly chat shit about things happening in the Rainbow Six world. And first of all, hello, I'm Milosh and Dezachu, your host for the show and host of EUL and a bunch of other things. But with me are people that are way more fun than I ever will be.
True.
Well, I think I meant Emie.
No. You said people, plural, to be fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, one person that is really fun. Derry Holt, Dezachu, a commentator who is the caster that casts with Ace of Pyrite.
I coined the famous word shagger once.
You did.
That's true. That is the highlight of your career.
That's it. That's the whole thing on my casting CV. I don't even mention showreels or nothing, just that.
I'm Tom Clancy. I'm the creator of the book series.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Why do you like talking about the specific make and brand of a weapon for 35 pages in a row?
Because I'm a loser.
Wow.
Yeah, we can go on this topic for quite a while and talking.
I'm Tom Clancy. Hello. No, it's lovely to be
here. You're Captain Fluke. Are you a captain?
I was.
What did you captain?
Vessels.
What vessels?
Long boats. Long boats, medium boats.
Not the swollen stuff.
Sometimes, those little pedalos that are shaped like a bird?
Yeah,
I would captain a lot of those in the army, obviously.
You going a lot in the Thames.
I was on the Swan division. You wouldn't have heard of us.
No.
We weren't official.
It's top secret.
It was.
All right, well, there you go. That explains the Tom Clancy link that you're mentioning. Emie, it's great to have you. For the first time here on the podcast.
Last time as well. Maybe.
That is not a decision up to me.
Ubi are already backstage, just like, oh man, we can't bring her back. It's too much.
Just bring in Hap. That's we're gonna roll with.
At least you got a safe bet with Hap.
Safe.
Yes.
Very much so. But
he's family friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very true. But Emie, you're also a commentator and award-winning personality. I'm sorry, but she has gone way beyond either one of us.
She's won more awards than I ever won.
Gaming, specifically gaming award, not just nominee, but winner. We watched that when we were here at the studio.
That speech was so cute.
I didn't expect to make a speech. I hadn't written a speech. I'd drunk. Because I was up against whole organizations. So I was like, it's not going to happen.
The real beauty is, though, your job is to make up words and talk shit for a living on the spot. So getting up and doing a speech is pretty...
It was very well prepared.
Yeah.
I was very well prepared.
I've trained the last 7 years for this.
But it was cool. Thank you for bringing up my accolades. Now I don't have to, because I don't want to be like...
No, that's what my job is. Des, I would love to promote your business, but
I haven't paid for that. Ubisoft to tell me off.
He legitimately tried to do that, by the way.
That is a great idea, though. Maybe it's cheaper to get everyone to wear T-shirts on the podcast.
Yeah. There you go. We're just putting out ideas.
This podcast.
So
we promoted ourselves. Is that the podcast now done? Is that it? Is that we wrapping up now?
What else do we do?
It legitimately took us.
We have to do this for you.
For me?
Your name's Milosh.
He used to work with eyes.
You used to work with eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You created eyes. You created eyes. And you, as far as I'm aware, from the olden times.
Yes.
Speak several languages.
1400 BC. You've been around.
Yeah.
You've been around the block.
I'm also very fun at parties, I'm told.
That's being told to you sarcastically.
What kind of parties?
You're the one that was half drunk that came in and hugged me.
I'm a cuddly drunk. I love a cuddle.
It depends on the party. I think you'd be good at a chess party.
I am terrible at chess, however. My girlfriend is way better than I am.
You should get her on the podcast.
She would be 10 times more interesting than I am.
Is your partner good at chess?
No, she's terrible. Oh. I think I beat her 3 times. She never played again.
Oh, that's terrible.
I remember me, Demo, and X were all playing chess at SI.
Yeah, it was
Spanked X, and then me and Demo like stalemated. So as far as I'm aware, I'm currently undefeated amongst the Siege talent community.
Sam slapped everybody.
I didn't play
yeah,
Sam.
Stokes was so good. He was just playing himself.
I need to play Stokes.
And he was watching, he was like Fresh and Demo were going at it, and Stokes was coaching both of them how to beat each other.
Right.
Whilst the game was going
He's
on.
playing himself then, basically.
So he's playing himself.
Yes.
Right. So he's not just playing
Brilliant.
himself.
Demo was pretty good. He was decent, actually.
Demo is a smart cookie. Speaking of Stokes, I know we had kind of a... Hey, by the way, this podcast is about Rainbow Six.
Yeah, we
and
promise it's not just a lifestyle
the esports
chat podcast.
But it is the fun part, right? You don't get to see us a bit more unhinged that we usually are on the actual E1 APAC broadcast. That's usually reserved for the post show, where more
Things get a bit crazy.
Yeah, I mean, people enjoyed it more than G2 Pone's game. So,
Did I enjoy that game?
no, you didn't. Nobody did.
I think I did. I enjoyed it, actually. I remember. I enjoyed that game.
7-2. You enjoyed the interview with Doki because
barely hear that.
Doki talked trash about Fresh, which
I could barely hear that. Because obviously we have the thing where we've had to swap in because Fabian isn't here this week, so we have the mics.
Yeah.
And the only way we can hear the interview is through the little speaker by the TV at the very front of the room, and it's so quiet we can barely hear it.
yeah.
I wasn't listening.
Oh.
I'm saying that's the problem in interviews in general.
Yeah.
I was there like, when Kenny was talking after their game, I was like,
That's fun.
yeah, he's saying something, and I imagine it's valuable.
Well, let's talk about NA for just a moment. Since you mentioned Stokes, and I like Sam. I think I like to how do you say consider him the golden retriever of Rainbow Six Esports.
Okay.
He's too loud to be a golden retriever.
No, he's perfect. Oh my, have you seen?
No,
him?
I think he might be too loud to be a golden retriever. I think he's yappier.
Yeah.
He's like a husky.
And he's very, no, but he's very,
He's the
quite,
Chihuahua.
He's
of-
a very,
Because they're like angry.
he's quite a lean man, is the nice way I can put it. So I think he's
is.
probably more like a small little yappy Yorkshire
I mean,
Terrier.
he says his partner bench presses him.
Yeah,
His partner could bench press all of us.
she could.
That's true. He's a great
She
weightlifter.
could kill us with
by
her
the way.
thighs if she wanted to.
Congratulations on their engagement.
That's true.
Yes, that too. That too.
It's been a
This
few
is
months
still
now.
about
Honestly.
Rainbow Six.
Yeah,
'Cause
promise.
They met in the community.
It's about people in Rainbow Six.
Yeah, honestly, Rainbow
We're
Six
about the
has brought
people.
so many people together.
What kind of dog are you?
What kind
Maybe a cat or bear.
Well, okay. If we're just going random,
I don't know. What dog would I be? I like dog. I like.
It's got the
dogs.
kind of majesty of like a Great Dane, but he's not.
What's the
as
dog
fast as a Great
that
Dane.
saves people skiing? That has the little rum barrel.
Oh, the Alaskan Malamute.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I
Am
think
I
he is like
that lethargic
Yeah, and he saves people
Yeah,
with alcohol?
yeah, with alcohol.
yeah.
Fun at parties.
Emmy's a golden retriever.
I think when I say fun at parties, I mean more like I can introduce random quips.
Yeah.
That people then turn around and say, "Ha, that was fun. Let's move on to the actual good parts of this party."
Like with NA.
Exactly. So let's talk about what happened with NA because they have guest analysts. That's super cool, right?
They do.
But it doesn't matter anymore because NAL's done.
It is.
So it doesn't matter what those guest analysts have said at this point because we have the top four for North America, and it's Xset at number 4, OXG at third, Sonics at second, making the comeback, and Astralis at number 1, keeping it rolling after that incredible stage 1. Honestly, Astralis, Xset, and OXG, of course, being at the top. We've seen them last time, but Dark Zero was in the top 4, and they missed out on the technicality of a few rounds, which is
Literally.
how tiebreakers.
I mean, look how close the whole league is, right? I think like ninth place was 12 points or something.
Ninth place is 12 points. That was
Yeah.
SSG. 12 points for TSM also. 13 for Beast Coast. 14 for Parabellum.
What's that all about?
Say again?
Beast Coast just being like above those two teams just sounds like a crazy thing to say.
Look, as SSG said it, the one consistent thing about NAL is that Mirage is always at the bottom.
Yeah, that's the only consistent thing it feels.
Guess we'll slam them. I mean, we
Come on in. We'd like to hear you.
seen hello.
Hello. ASMR with Emie.
We've seen
That's better.
other streams, other teams struggle.
Yeah,
BDS,
Yep.
they struggle.
true. We'll talk
They're-
about them.
They're comparable, I think, with SSG. There's
that's true.
I mean, they've just made a big change, obviously, right? With Skies going.
Yeah.
I don't know what's confirmed. I see a lot.
That was all over Twitter. And he said it himself that he was dropped. I think he was very public about it. Actually, someone
okay.
said in a reply that he was dropped.
So there's going to be some massive stuff that have kind of been going on in Rainbow Six Esports. North America is obviously having big changes, but the teams that are performing really well right now, they've made no changes and they've been functioning well. Sonics didn't have a great stage 1, but look at them back.
Look at them now. Look at Super dropping double-digit kills for the first time in a pro game. What's that all about?
You'd have to. It's the charm.
He went like 10. Yeah, it's the charm.
It is the charm.
It's the charm. He went like 10-7 or something stupid. It was crazy. Got a big 3K inside Small Tower in Oregon. Woo!
I heard about that.
We want to
me
talk
too.
about that one.
Yeah, well, should we talk about that?
No, we've already made a
I don't
joke about
care.
that during the show.
Yeah, but it's EU.
This is a podcast.
we can't stake the fight. Yeah, they're not going to listen to
Of course we can.
We talked about
Exactly.
Stokes. We can talk about it again. Stokesing the fun. No, he has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, Stokes has nothing to do with that.
No, it's Jacob that has to do with
Yeah,
it.
Super's just on a whole other caliber, isn't he? He's amazing. I thought you liked that one.
We're never going to be invited back.
Honestly, at some point, look, I get the whole talking about it. There's a point where if you keep talking about it for a week, and it gets a bit petty.
Things happen, and
It becomes a fun joke after that point.
I think that's the thing is things happen, and then
Afterwards, you're going to
boring.
look back and laugh, and that's the
jokes about
fun.
things.
Yes.
Having a good time, having a good.
Don't get
I'm a
us
shooting star.
like this.
Oh yeah, we'll get done.
Done in.
Copyright.
Right,
Yes, because we sound exactly like the official song, I guess.
Okay,
So
I think these teams have done well in the meta.
yes, which is a topic here because we talked about this on the EWAL broadcast, and Fresh had some numbers for us when
course he does.
we talked about. It's true. I mean, you had better numbers than he did, apparently.
That's true.
So joke's on you, Jack. But what was mentioned is the fact that Europe overall, even in a meta that has veered way more towards the attacking side, we've broken the above 50% win rate for attackers on most maps.
Let's go.
Oh, should
That's
we? Is that
in
did we
general?
say that?
No. EU sucks at it.
Yeah.
In comparison to NA. So
Whoops.
that's the thing. NA are not only doing better overall in their own region, but like the teams themselves. Yes, we've had a very competitive stage. There was the whole conversation around, if the same 4 teams or 3 out of the 4 of them are still the same ones going to the major, can you call it competitive? Well, I mean, look at the difference points-wise between all of the teams. We go from 12 points at 9th place to 16 points at 1st place.
Yep.
That is a pretty goddamn competitive stage, if you ask me.
Someone was whining about this actually on Twitter. They were just like, it's a terrible format when it comes down to the last play day and you still don't know who's going to be there. I'm like, no.
Isn't that the fun
That's
part?
a great format.
Well,
Like,
the
that's
thing
part of
is-
the fun.
Yeah, like and how can they say that's a problem with the format? Because if 4 teams had won every game up to that point, then they would be clear already. Then they wouldn't come
And they'd
down
be
to the
complaining,
last day.
there's not enough competition in this
No,
league.
about the format.
Exactly. Know what I mean?
You Dumbo.
It's you wanted your
person.
team.
Big dummies.
You
big
wanted your
dummy.
favorite team to make
Dumb
through.
dumb.
They
Stupid.
couldn't play
Idiots.
well.
Dumb, you stupid.
Why are you looking at me, both of you saying that? I feel personally attacked at this.
I changed my chair height and now I feel guilty because they framed us. I've messed everything
ruined
up.
But NA is doing quite well in all of this, and I'm wondering between NA playing so well in the stage, and we'll talk about it in a moment, Brazil now playing on LAN in their entire stage, does EU ever have a hope?
We're screwed.
We are. Well, NA are doing so well.
That's putting it softly.
What do you think that attacking side, like positivity that they have?
I don't
What does
even
that
think,
come down to?
I don't think it's so much attacking side positivity. I think you just see it doesn't apply to every team. There are let's make a hot take. There are some idiots that play in NAL that generally do not have the maturity, I think, to be a player at this level.
Name them.
No. Some of them do not have that maturity. But what I think you see across the majority of their top teams is their mentality, their approach to the game, the discipline they bring is really strong. Now, I feel that's probably been watered down a little bit as of late. You know, like I'll very happily publicly say I think Nuez is a phenomenal player, but I think there's still clearly a little bit of development to do as a professional in that case. Always going to drop ridiculous number of kills per stage, will consistently be a top fragger.
Yeah.
But that might be something that comes back to bite them if they start performing badly, for example. But across all the teams, you'll hear like coaches talk about it. You've heard Super talk about it, Canadian, Lycan, all these big teams, TSM, another wonderful example. It's all about the mentality. And I feel the players in NA just want it more than what a lot of the players in EU do. People here in EU say they want it, but then don't show the behaviors to actually want it. They'll oversleep scrims. They'll slip up on things here and there where they really shouldn't be. And that's one of those things that I think you've really got to be showing that you want it in your actions, not just in your words.
We have become Europe that has become what they feared most, 2018 NA.
feels it.
It simple as that.
Yeah.
2018, 2019, and
The thing is, I want to double back a little bit there for a
will we
second.
ever not
because-
have a Prep Faith podcast where we just take a
we don't just
all
take a
over
big dump
Europe?
on EU. No, and the thing is, not every single team or every single player is like that. It sounds like I'm saying all of EU has bad mentality, all of NA does. There's obviously differences across two regions. It just feels overwhelmingly like you get more of that in NA than you do in Europe. And now Korea as well, because Koreans are starting to really scare me in this
That's
game.
true.
We'll talk about those in a bit.
We will. How about move on then from the top 4 in North America to the top 4 in the European League? Because currently, of course, NAL is finished. They're done.
Should we preface this and say when we're recording this?
They're
so
done?
people know?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
recording
we are-
this in a heat wave.
In a heat wave, yes.
Very warm.
It's like 41 degrees,
That's
even
why we
more
keep
with our
drinking
studio
the water.
lights. Yeah, but on top of that, Europe is not decided. This is the Tuesday, I forgot the word, right after Playday 6.
And days of the week,
EU League.
so hard to remember.
Honestly, I am dumb.
You're not winding up nearly as much as I thought you would.
Well, I'm letting you guys do a little bit of professional podcast.
I see.
We will get to it in Europe. This is what I'm excited
I've done
for.
some throwaway bits already.
Okay.
I'll
Well-
come background. I'll probably say at least one point that's worthwhile.
All right, here's the top 4 for Europe.
Okay.
Wolves are at 15.
Yeah.
They took a massive L last night. Rogue at 12, Heroic at 12, M&M at 12, BDS at 9, is also Na'Vi, 7 points for Outsiders, 6 for G2, 5 for Secret, and 3 for Pones at the end of it all. Now, Emie, I'm going to turn to you to this because you've been able to cast so many of these games and get to see some surprises between last week and last night.
I have.
What are your thoughts overall on this rating?
When Secret...
I was so confused because her mouth was moving and no sound was coming out. And I thought I was temporarily deaf or something.
When Secret are in the phrase of do or die, and I think it's already been decided as for this major die, they're really doing. That's twice in a row, and it's Rogue and Wolves that they've sort of put this pressure on. I think the sort of deciding game there for Secret is G2. As weird as that is to sort of say, they're the middle game of the 3 games left. Na'Vi, it was always going to be a rough one. They opened with their easiest games. Their last 3 is 3 of the top 4 teams. And they just lost to the 4th top 4 team. So that middle gap is going to really start to widen sooner rather than later. Wolves, they should be fine.
They'll be okay.
They should be fine.
15 points is enough.
They've got Na'Vi and Outsiders as 2 of their 3. Like, there's points that they can pull together. It was a very rough day for them yesterday. But to be honest, you want that before you go to a major. Because if you go in flawless and then you get tested by what are better teams, then you're going to have the BDS effect on a major where you just sort of get pushed aside, regardless of how well you've been performing.
Yeah, what happened with BDS now taking 2 L's
It's
in...
the same.
Don't get me
I said
started.
it before.
Well, I want to get you started. That's the
I
whole
said
point
it
of what
before.
we
It
do.
was with it's the same. It's a meta they're struggling with, and it's got to their heads that they've had such a fall off.
I've probably said it for about 12 months now. I've been going on about saying it, that they're quite robotic. And the word I used to use was it's a bad word to use. You said they're not an exotic team, but that didn't really say much. The word I've been using
Sounds
more.
like Jack.
I know, right? It's because he copies me. No original ideas in that little head.
I've seen him going through your wardrobe.
I mean, just look at the
Those
shirts
short
he's now
shorts
wearing.
came from your dresser, didn't
Yeah, the bright pink.
Wearing right now.
the bright pink
With
ones?
a barbie.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I just think BDS are really undynamic as a team at the moment. It's almost like Shaiko's the only one that's happy to be a spearhead for them. If he dies in a round, they lose a lot of the dynamic nature they used to have. And you look back, say, maybe 18, 24 months, you'd have Alems, Renshiro, and Shaiko as this big front 3, which is the sort of success we see on M&M when Tyrants really kind of dropping numbers as well. TSM obviously go on to win, SI playing that exact sort of style. They've kind of stepped back into the past a bit where they're losing that sort of touch, I think, where they haven't got the same level of sharpness about them and just feel a bit robotic. Almost like how old I'm basically crying at this point, not about BDS. I've got an eyelash in my eye and it is driving me up the wall.
Okay,
I have many of
okay.
those.
I know, it's because the eyelash is doing my nutting, but we'll be fine. I'm okay, I promise. It's not about BDS, 100%. No. So Team Empire used to be this really fixed, static team who would do the same thing over and over again, as we all know, and do it so well that no one could basically beat them. BDS are trying to run that in a meta where that doesn't work. They are probably the most turtle-focused defensive team that you will see probably around the world at this point. I used to make a joke that if you saw on Clubhouse Basement a Lemza pick Valkyrie, that was as exciting as their Rome's got. It just never was a thing. They've tried this stage. I remember there's a game on Cafe where they had like Rafal throwing himself out of windows, for example, on a Rooney. They were really trying to be aggressive. That didn't work, so they've gone back to playing this very turtle-based style, and teams are like, oh, you're giving us the whole map for free here inside 60 seconds? Yeah, don't mind if we do. And just taking it all away and then bullying them on the execute with a perfect lineup thanks to attacker repick. And it's like, you know, you boys need to get out there and play more as a team, because it's either Alem's doing his own thing and Shaiko doing his own thing somewhere, or it's the whole team sat on site and just getting absolutely blasted by people when they come towards the site. It's not the BDS that we know and love and that we've seen them really roll with for the last 12 months. And now it's not just internationally we're seeing that fall apart. Now it's domestically as well. They're not even in the top 4.
It was only an eventuality, a lot of people will call it.
Yeah.
Because at some point, like you said, it happened to SSG, happened to TSM, and it's going to keep... It happened also in LATAM, and it's only now in Brazil that you have that picking up again. But, Emie, it seems like, with this description that Darius been giving, that Wolves have kind of... Wolves have kind of
he's catching his throat as well.
Are you making the sound of a wolf?
No, his tears are about to start coming. Like me. He caught himself there. He choked a little bit.
Yeah.
Cry a little.
It's okay, mate. I've already shed some tears today. We can...
It's very emotional.
We can hug it up. Huh?
It's very emotional task.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no problems showing my emotions, Emie.
Then do it. Stare right down the barrel of the camera.
Yeah?
And give us... No, look.
This one.
Yeah.
Don't look away.
Look at the camera. Look at the camera.
I am, yeah.
Okay. Give it happiness. The Christmas happiness. You've just got the gift that you wanted all the time. Okay, or your faith.
My girlfriend got me a nice gift, which she did.
Lovely
this year
gift.
again.
You open it, the box is empty. The box is empty. All it says is a picture of her flipping the bird at you, swearing at you.
This would be my exact reaction.
They just laugh.
Okay.
I would
and
just
then you
laugh.
look up, and then it's Fabian.
You say podcasts don't need video.
That was it. You have to check out the video for this.
I'm adding,
Very good.
giving them stuff to work with.
Yeah.
There you go. We can do
How
it
did we get onto that from BDS, by the way?
because I mean, look, Fabian is associated with EUL, and BDS had a kind of opening the gift at Christmas kind of vibe for the past few years until this past year. There you go. Made the bridge.
Therefore, climate change isn't a thing, right?
No, it is what.
Because that was the stretch you were going to there to connect those points together.
No, because as they say,
You heard it first.
It's
On the
snows
prep phase.
It snows sometimes in some places in the year, which means it's not a thing. That's exactly how. By the way, this is irony, just to make it very clear.
It is very clear irony.
Incredible.
We are people of science. We wouldn't be sitting here in 41-degree heat if climate change wasn't a thing. Come on.
Yeah, well,
I thought we were going for that Joe Rogan money.
It's very easy to be a grifter, so don't worry about it. Anyways,
mad money.
I wanted to segue, like, speaking of grifting, but
Yeah, Wolves.
Wolves.
Wolves right now, honestly, first of all, great pickup. Is this the woof? A woof. Great pickup, by the way, by the Wolverhampton Wolves just before...
Wolverhampton Wolves? Hang on a minute. You're
on a
talking
minute.
to two people who
The
love their
Wolverhampton
football here.
Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Yes.
Wolverhampton...
So, Wolverhampton Wolves.
Wolves.
Wanderers is the second
Wolves.
part.
Well, the Wanderers...
Their brand team will come for you like they came for the R6 Esports EU account.
Did they?
Yeah, because no, was it CGG? Someone posted a picture of them in their old Vitality jerseys, and they replied just like, "Here's the correct picture, by the way," with them actually in their Wolves jerseys, and I was like, "Yes,
Yeah.
brands laying the smack down."
The difference is I am not a website that has investment and is supposed to cover
No,
journalistic...
but you are a cultured man who should know about what's going on in English football.
You are a cultured
God.
man. You come from far away. What can you play?
I can play the guitar and I'm terrible
I
at it.
play the guitar.
That's so crap to say, isn't it?
Anyways, why are you drawing me?
I'm drawing.
What is that? Anyways,
He's drawing us.
Keep talking.
back to the Wolves.
Yeah.
They seem to be doing so well that not only were they beating BDS a lot of times in UL, but also in French nationals. They are the French national champions. If we look back at the Six Cup in November, just before the major happened in Sweden, but now they've taken up the mantle in many ways in similar styles of teamwork that BDS used to have in the day.
Yeah. I think they're a little bit more dynamic and aggressive, but
I think that's the difference. Is they're aggressive. You look at
Not passive.
With P4 being a leading voice on that team, he pushes himself towards the front. Mowgli has had a great
Yeah.
swan song.
He's a-
And
these 18-year-old gunners,
when
man.
was the last time BDS did a sort of big change? We've seen this roster.
2 years?
RXWD, it's been since
3 days, 2
SI
years.
2020. That
Yeah.
was two and
it was
2.5 years ago.
You know, and it's never a comment on the players, but you can only have it as a respective of the meta that we have right now. The teams that are successful are these ones that have brought in an idea of aggression, brought in an idea of young gunners, whether it's Mowgli, whether it's Benji who's doing
Rogue,
what,
Heroic, and Wolves.
Rogue,
Yeah.
and you know, and it's the same in NA. You're looking at Astralis, you're looking at Sonics, who have obviously brought in, you know, Cans and
Viewers for XG, yeah.
and that's a thing that can't be ignored. And every player is talented generally as a rule of thumb at tier 1 across the board. That's why they're here. But talented and right for the role and right for what is going on is a very different thing.
That reminds me, just before we move on to our next region, is specifically when Uno was picked up by the old Rogue. Remember that transfer that happened before they were known as even Rogue, like the Lustream that later split up and made you the team that you have now. Before he went on to G2, we're digging here.
I remember that.
Yeah, you're digging.
Stream, but that was like.
But that's so.
I think I started getting into the game when the stream was.
I still lived in Poland back then.
I cast them in CL.
Well, when
Probably.
and this when Alfama still played. This is before Alfama went to NA even, but played on the team before the transfers happened. But Uno specifically was this excellent player, especially back in those days, but he just could not play well with his team. He was a great player, an ace in their sleeve, but could not perform because of the environment that was there. He just didn't fit, and that's a normal thing. But you saw him when he went on to G2 and how things changed with him and with the whole team. That is a period of the team that a lot of people look back on as a pretty favorable one, despite it being not as good as, of course, winning everything in the years prior. But moving on to Elite Six or Copa Elite Six for the entirety of the Latin American region, but specifically to Brasileiro, so the BR6 right now, because top 4 teams qualify to Copa Elite Six. Usually, or at least in the past, it was 6. This has changed. The division Copa Elite 6 is now 4-2-2.
Yep.
So Sudamericano will get 2.
Terrible football
Brazil will get
formation, though.
4.
What?
Yeah, well, that's
Terrible
what 2
form-
players have been sent off. Unless you have 2
Exactly.
goalkeepers.
You got to adapt to it. However, the top 4 teams are W7M that absolutely trashed everybody again. Furia, FaZe Clan, and finally NIP that snuck in off of Team Liquid, really pooping the bed.
thoughts?
Just don't let Tim be right. Tim's been banging on for the last 18 months about Fury will make their day one day, and I'm just like,
I've been saying that in the same manner too.
I mean, Ollie is like the biggest.
Yeah, because he caught it off Tim.
Isn't it that Demo's the biggest NIP fan?
Oh, the Mickeys.
He
No.
He has opinions. I mean,
No.
Thank you for keeping it.
he has opinions. I think
The fact that they snake their way back in again worries me. They just somehow keep on doing it. They can't keep on getting away with this.
But it's still for them, you know, you compare where they were to being known as a team that sneaks their way in. And that's crazy to go from the top with a, you know, I'm not going to call it a dominance, but second one year, first the next.
Yeah.
To the drop off is it's not tragic, but it's sad. It's stuff to work on, especially when you have, I mean, W7M. Where did they come from?
Yeah, right.
How are they doing so
Bolts,
good?
18-year-old gunners. Weird that.
They've had the major change. Speaking of that, I mean, Julio is out, goes to Furia as coach.
Yeah.
I've known Julio since 2014.
Now they're second. Fury are doing so well.
Yeah, there you go. But bringing in Wizard as a newcomer only came in June of this year. And, you know, young player also coming in, doing incredible work. It's incredible to see. It's time again for the old guard to kind of...
It's happening in every single region. And the thing is, I think look, Fabian argued this point. It was like, you need experience on a team to guide these young players. You know, you should really be picking up more experienced players. And I'm like, yeah, But look at how many teams have got it so right in bringing in young players across, again, every single region. Like even back in EU for a second, like Navi brought in Skiddy. They're now playing a lot better than they were, for example. Over in APAC, we've got Mephi who came in. We've got Good Boy on Sandbox. The list just goes on and on and on.
It works two ways. And I think the easiest way of looking at that is Uno into Heroic.
Why am I crying in your drawing?
Because you were crying on the desk.
Right, okay, got it.
In real life.
Is Uno and Heroic is what they had there was young gunners, but nobody to really drive the ship. And then they bring in Uno, who is an old, experienced voice, and he's someone that is able to sort of calm them down. You have to be able to have a balance of both. There's good in the old and great in the new.
Just don't keep on recycling the same names.
Yes. Unless it's my name.
Yeah.
I need work.
We need work, by the way. So
Hire.
I mean, you don't. You have a business, but
I'm good.
we need it.
Yeah.
I need it.
I
SpongeBob style.
I'll lose my life, but yeah.
Okay, that's getting dark.
No, I mean like. Anyways, Copa Elite 6 is happening in 4 days.
Wow.
Exactly 4 days, 1 hour and 50 minutes from 49
This man
minutes.
Wikipedias.
He does.
That is exactly what I have next to me. W7M will play Isurus from Sudamericano. They'll also have NIP play 6 Karma, which come in from Mexico.
It's a stomp.
It's
The games
I
aren't,
mean,
the
fair
games aren't
enough.
close. Come on.
Well, the Brazilians are going to have a good time. Cruelty plays against Furia, and Cruelty is the second Mexican team to make it out. Of course, Mexico gets 2 teams from it. A lot of people touting the Mexican League as being a pretty exciting one.
I've had some Mexican buzz. I've heard some buzz about Mexico. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. The casters definitely have been buzzing about it.
It sounds bad, but I'd actually love to see a non-Brazilian team make it to
I
the event.
completely agree.
Not because I don't think the Brazilian teams are good. They clearly are incredibly good given last year, but just to see more teams come up.
Furious could be that team, and we've been saying that for the past 6 months. For anybody that at least keeps up with them, they got BLK. Everybody's been
Who are they
saying
against? FaZe.
They play FaZe, yes, which it
good
could
luck.
be very unfortunate. I mean, you're not going to have an easy time no matter the Brazilian team that you play against. I just feel very bad for Isurus because they're going to go up and play against W7M, who have been absolutely trashing everybody in Brazil. So Copa Elite 6 is going to be,
Spicy.
I hate to say the word, interesting, which is a non-word, by the way.
What do you mean?
It's a non-word
Why?
because it doesn't actually say anything. Interesting just
Interesting.
means-
It's a classic caster word, interesting. That can
Yeah,
mean
interesting
anything
just
about
means
it.
you don't have an opinion on something or you've yet to form a full opinion to describe.
Yes.
That's interesting.
You think about it in your life, you are always constantly forming new opinions on things.
That's true. And it's a good
Nothing's
thing.
ever fully formed.
You should
Love
be
hate,
changing your... What?
I hate a lot of things.
A hail of things. That's
I
very...
hate a lot of things.
I hate a lot of
Yeah.
Like what?
Me.
That's interesting.
That's not my wang.
That is no.
That's a... See, I can get some UK references.
Just one or two. Still, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Stay Ignific if you figure that. That's it.
Wolverhampton.
You go to their ground, you'll get booed out.
Wolverhampton.
I hope...
Wolverhampton Wolverers, is that what he said?
Wolverers.
Wolverers.
I would love to go to the UK. I actually still have a visa until later.
I said to you before, we've got to take you to a football game.
Honestly, if I go to the UK, and my girlfriend is probably going to not be so excited for going to a football game, but then again, she can just
What's
go
a
to
real
these-
good derby to take him to?
Chelsea. I'm a Chelsea fan. I have.
You're
It's
Chelsea.
been.
Yet you don't know what teams are in the league with you, right?
I mean, Wolves. When was the last time they performed so well?
They're like 8th, I think, or
there
finished
you
the
go.
season like 8th. That's good. There's 20 teams in there. It's not like EUL and there's only 10.
Look. Okay, so we're looking at the expansion.
Who do you want to see? Chelsea versus Arsenal, Spurs.
Yeah, but good luck. How much money do you think I make? I don't make NAL money. You think I can afford like a $700 million?
That's a sore
ticket?
topic.
How much? How much do you think are we? Can I
Even
pay
I'm
for
not
a
going to
ticket?
joke about that topic.
No.
Anyways,
There's some good games. Let's go to a Wolves Villa game. That sounds
All right.
fun. Because Wolves just hate Villa and we just don't care.
can we ask the Wolves to get us some tickets?
Oh, can we ask him for a box?
Let's go.
I wonder if this would be great content.
It would be great.
This would actually, okay, I've got to propose this, right? I'm messaging them.
Hey, you heard it here first on the Prep Face podcast, by the way.
Those boxes aren't cheap, by the way. They are like 15,
That's
20
why we're going to
grand.
be asking for them.
Do us a cut rate one, few quid, please.
I'll give you a tenner.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
So moving on then to our final region, because we still have like 10 minutes left before we wrap up this part. But anyways, we control time
really?
itself, so it doesn't really
I thought we
matter.
were going way over. I didn't know there was time limits, but this feels long.
I don't think there is a
I'm
time
enjoying
limit.
myself. I could
No,
carry
I'm
on.
having a good
We're
time.
having fun, so I don't
Yeah.
think
They
it
haven't
matters.
pulled me off the show yet.
Security has not arrived
Security
on
hasn't
the
arrived
space.
They're outside the door right now, just waiting. One bad word.
Good,
you're
it's
out.
really hot.
We locked it because
So you want to get dragged outside where it's even hotter?
No, I want them to wait in the heat.
there you go. Now on to our second region that we get to talk about here in our studio, APAC North, which
Yeah.
honestly has been incredibly exciting. This whole stage. If you don't watch APAC North, you definitely should be. At least for me in Europe, I know that I don't work APAC South, but it happens around the same time as APAC North. Does just on different days. I'm up early in the morning. I'm doing some work. I have it
Yeah,
on
you
my
have
second
your
screen.
It's a nice morning.
Really is.
Korean team is going to win a major in the next 12 months.
Okay, that's a statement. There you go.
Print it.
Clip it.
Publish it.
Which Korean team?
At this point,
Spear.
everyone's going to go to imagine. Everyone's going towards Damwon Kia, right? Sandbox, I think, have got a good thing starting to form. The fact they've got Good Boy and Arakazayan team now is just crazy. They're very scary. Maybe there's a point where like Shile's not quite at his usual full strength form, but then the team has gone through a number of changes, but they are very scary as well.
Well, to give the rundown again, Talon, Fnatic, Fav, and Spear are out of the running now for the major.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It surprised me with
crazy.
Talon because they were playing so well. They were second on like play day.
They were, and then they completely
And they trashed it.
pooped the bed. But
God damn it, Marble.
They played Fav and Spear, so I'll leave it at that. Playday 6 and 7 and the last two left. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and that's the day where Playday 6 will be happening. 7 will be
Not when
next
you're
week.
listening to this.
No, it'll be this episode should be out a few days after the APAC day is done.
Yeah.
Because we don't live in the studio, despite the fact that this week we might as well actually live here.
4 days this week I'm here. It's great. I'll see you guys as well.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
You're so cynical.
Sorry, I'm bringing the mood down.
So I know we talked about the top 4 in other regions, but
Yeah.
here in APAC, we don't have playoffs anymore. It's only two top 2 teams from
Yeah.
APAC North and from South. These are the regions, and then the 4 teams from those just kind of qualify, which honestly makes sense. I'm kind of wondering why that wasn't the case a long time ago, but playoffs used to happen for APAC way back in the day before, in the olden days, in the pre-days, where people could meet up together and play these tournaments. But CAG and Reject are fighting for those positions that currently Damwon and Sandbox have control of. 2 Korean teams, 2 Japanese teams just behind them. 15 points for Damwon, 14 for Sandbox, but 11 for Cyclops and 9 for Reject. Damwon can close it all out in this next game day, which
As they
play
should.
CAG.
They can close that.
They should be able to. If they can't, they shouldn't go to a major.
I pull back to my original point about Korean teams. Like, you just look at every time you see a Korean team playing, they're all donning the same outfit. They're all in the same team house. Like, I think it's just a cultural thing in South Korea. They are just so into their esports.
From the StarCraft 1 days, yes, the team house.
They
definitely-
take it so seriously.
It's been around since the 90s, and it will hopefully never change for Korea.
Never by a half measure, yeah. So I think those 2 teams probably will be the ones that make it. I think it'd be fun to have Cyclops or Reject at a major. Do I think they could go there and do well? No, they'd probably get grouped, but they would add a bit of flair, as they always do. Teams hate playing against Cyclops.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because they're at every single window and doorway you can possibly imagine whenever you try and get towards the building.
And then the big problem with Sandbox that we saw last year before the changes kind of came in was that they couldn't convert their early round wins into a round
Don't get me
win.
started. They had a plus 29 entry at SI last
you
year. The
casted them,
highest.
both of you.
Yeah. Plus 29 entry. The highest out of anyone.
Yeah.
And still couldn't close rounds. It was frustrating.
It was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you were...
No, it was interesting.
It was interesting.
No, you do have a formed opinion about it, so...
No, I'm just going to say it was interesting to remain...
to annoy me. But I remember that
neutral.
event. My highlight of that event is after spending 3 months in isolation in a tiny apartment in Warsaw, was seeing Emie and Hap waving at me.
Oh, yeah, you were like the president on the balcony, like, hello, my people.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember?
I remember that.
I was
the
so
square.
happy finally seeing human beings. You know how I had
Yeah.
not seen anybody in ages.
It's like, Milosh, give us a speech.
In that hotel, there was apparently a woman who got mad at the Siege community.
Was it you?
No, it wasn't. It was someone who was in, because it was like a central.
Was it?
Oh,
courtyard,
Was
yeah,
it
I remember
the
what it
last night with
I
Sam?
know what it was.
and all the windows look in. To this
Yeah, we were having a
courtyard.
drink or something and talking, like,
Yeah.
like 10 o'clock at night,
And it
and she
wasn't
just got
even
really
loud.
upset.
It wasn't even loud.
No.
No,
She
it
was
wasn't.
like,
It was
open the windows, like an old
got real angry.
Screamed
Like-
at us.
French. Like, towards us.
So back on this, Reject, can they make it? They can technically.
I'd like it for the underdog story.
Technically,
They need to win 2 games.
I don't know if it's their time.
I'd like it for the underdog story because they are much better, but I think, like you say, they need another stage.
It makes me want to have more teams from this region go. And I know we can't have that now.
No.
We don't have that now, and I can only sort of talk about what it is. But yeah, I think that was one of the things that we used to get from APAC. Now that it's a region that is becoming more solid, when you have strong teams from APAC South, APAC North, that are common names on a major scene, when does Reject get a look in? Are they always the bridesmaids now? Because they've had such a fun split, and it would be such a joy to see them cause problems, because they would.
It's true. Now on to our sister region, APAC South.
Yeah.
Shout out to our APAC South talent. By the way, I would do that to every single region because
Except you didn't. You've only done it for APAC South.
Except you've only done it for APAC South.
So basically, screw NA,
Let-
screw the Portuguese.
let us know a little bit
Stokes.
more about
no,
this. We did
they're not
Stokes.
Portuguese.
They
They're
speak
Brazilian.
Portuguese.
We did
What?
Stokes, and we didn't mention any other of the rest of the NA talent, apart from technically we did mention Callum Jacob, but in a different context.
Shout out to Doa, by the way, my NA equivalent.
Not Jesse J. Chick.
Jesse J. I
Screw
miss
Jesse, apparently.
I
No
do
Parker.
have a.
Nah, screw Parker.
Pangu.
Look.
Oplu,
I see how it's going.
Okay, so
Clear favourites.
villains that they
what?
had.
The fill-ins.
Yeah.
Terrible.
But okay, I'll
Didn't
give
shout us out either.
Doa and a colleague, Desk Coast.
One.
Jesse, who I have a photo of as he is.
Getting out of the shower.
No, it's kind of way more suggestive than that.
Getting
undressed.
with a banana.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I do love bananas. Yeah.
Yes, they do, but that one was quite interesting. Thomas and Jobro, that were
They were
guest analysts.
guesting.
So there you go. Jobro looked very smart, and Thomas also.
Did he sound smart?
He did. I mean, Thomas is,
I thought you were just.
I guess, a distant relative, being Iraqi,
I was talking about
at least
Jobro.
half Iraqi
Yeah.
himself. So he is a distant relative of mine at that point, because we're all related in the region.
Well,
That's how it goes.
I'm
Beyond
gonna
that,
disagree with you on that.
shout out to Pengu for being himself.
Well done, Nick, for being Nick.
Honestly, he lives in North America. Last time, like, it takes 30 minutes driving to go and get yourself some coffee. So what is that?
Did you see how sunburnt he was in his picture the other
Yes.
day?
He's a little
God.
Danish boy in the Vegas heat.
And who else am I? Blue is.
I was about to say, don't forget Blue.
No.
If
Blue,
you forgot Blue, I would.
I love Blue. Last time I sat down with him was in Invitational and kind of convincing him to buy a car. Because
Do you know
Was
how
he
that
buying a
story
van?
ended? No, he was
bought
buying
it.
a van.
yeah,
Yeah.
It was all broken, and he sold it, and he just got a Jeep.
Brilliant.
it's a Jeep thing.
I respect that.
Yeah, so he got rid of it.
Yeah, that's why they were selling it for. Anyways,
There were problems.
yeah, major problems. Just honestly, live in Europe, take public transport, and you're probably better off. And who am I missing? Not Intero. I mean, look. Okay, I'm gonna put it out there. Parker, thank you for ghosting me for the past 3 months.
Lol. He does that sometimes, doesn't he?
He's
really chatty sometimes.
and then multiple times, and then suddenly sends you a text. Hey,
I have some good messages with Parker.
I used to live next to him.
Sometimes he just says nothing for like weeks.
Yes, and then
Hi.
you send him a meme, thinking like, "Oh, will this spark the fire again?" But
I love
so you did great. I loved your shorts. I saw the photo. Why am I talking about people's shorts? For the past
You are
couple-
obsessed these last few days.
You love shorts
Because
You're
they're
a shorts
comfy.
guy.
because they're comfy.
J-
I don't
I-
like polos.
Okay, well that's not shorts.
I'll tell you what, we are really leaving people on the hook with that APAC South here, aren't we?
Yeah, well, Elevate and
finish
Gaming
that off?
Gladiators are at the top currently. 12 points and 10 points. Of course, it's not done yet for APAC South. As exactly like APAC North, they still have 2 more play days to go. Their next play day is in 2 days, so that's on Thursday, which is probably ended by the time this has come out. But Knights and IG are just behind. Dire Wolves at 7 points can also hit up the top 2. Reminder, top 2 for this region.
Yeah.
Elevate at LAN. Is that gonna? I couldn't believe that they actually were making it.
They were fun.
You don't believe that Elevate are actually present at a LAN until you physically see them there.
And then
Because
they
you never know.
set 2 records.
Yeah, Onigiri. Woo!
Didn't break the record, but
He's our religious figure in the church for MK14 1.5x.
which is superior. They really did my P10 Roni real bad.
It's actually really good right now. I finally strayed from the path and did try the Roni. It's a fantastic gun.
I mean, Virtue's.
Yeah, sure. Double
I mean,
kill.
to be
with
fair,
the-
both of those guns are phenomenal. Like, I'd happily run either.
Mark 14, the really fast like trigger finger rate of fire that you get on it, it's pretty impressive,
Unbelievable.
isn't it? But surprises, can the Knights make it up? IG, we haven't seen them competing in a while, at least internationally. And now you have the I guess advantage of there's no playoffs. You just have to play well in your region, top 2, and then you're in. No more kind of obstacles in the way, eh?
Nope. That's it, straight in. I won't lie to you. I'll be very blunt in saying this because we're on a podcast. I don't really get the chance to watch APAC South when there's
I got it.
5 regions to keep up with.
We literally cast
a
2
killer.
of them. We work 2 of them, and then we have our own lives. I know, crazy.
I catch like a game or 2 of NA when it's on, but I don't get to watch much because of the time.
Well, I think that's the thing.
LATAM's on weekends when you're trying to breathe.
A lot of the APAC South is on the morning of us doing EU sometimes. So it's the crossover of you, because we know we're going to be up casting and shouting until 12:30, 1 in the morning.
That's true.
You try and stay up for as long as possible, because if you wake up at like lunchtime, then your energy will peak in 7-8 hours, which is perfect.
I woke up at 9:30 yesterday
Well, I don't know why.
for EU.
Well, I guess you're just the host.
Yeah, but yeah, I critically failed at my job at looking
I
good.
saw something snap in his brain though when you said that.
I critically failed at the one task at like looking decent on broadcast over the past few weeks. So
I find that impossible.
I love what you wore yesterday. Sure.
Yeah, honestly, that dress.
That's my favorite outfit you've
fantastic.
ever worn. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow.
I love
Sorry.
though the pompous dress.
Not
that
to
you
say
wore
the
at
big
SI.
gold dresses are bad.
The big
Yeah.
gold dress was
Yes, that one was something else.
when I have the siege at 8 and the Met Gala at 10.
Yes.
Emie, how are you so stylish?
I steal it.
I'm bad with finances.
I'm mad with finances.
Yes.
My accountant dropped me.
Jack,
Jack.
is that fresh?
It was really
Did he send you
funny.
an official email?
He did. So Jack, he's obviously got a lot to focus on, so he stopped doing accountancy for groups of people, and he didn't tell me in person, but he sent me an email, like a really official reading email, like, I'm sorry, I have to like leave you as a client. And he's not once talked to me in person about it, which I just find hilarious, because to me it's funny.
Bless Jackie
I was going to wait to see if he said anything, but he hasn't. So
You should challenge him about it. Confront him.
I'm going to send him an official email back.
Just make it really like formally written.
Well. That's our regions, I guess, kind of done and dusted. The only big surprise that I see in APAC South is Chiefs being all the way at the bottom with 3 points.
Yeah.
There's no way for them to make it back, of course, at this point. But it's a big surprise.
I mean, nothing I expected Gaming Gladiators to be so far up as well, right? Like I forget the random game. Like I think me and Tim were doing predictions and randomly just threw them in for a prediction for one game, and they tagged us afterwards like, "Cheers to the vouch, boys!" And I was like, "Oh, they actually won! Wow, fair play."
It's a roster that's sort of coming together. I think it's that sort of mix of, they have some old heads, they have, ex-players from the sort of more familiar rosters of APAC South.
They got picked up just in June. They were because before, when you heard Gaming Gladiators, you thought NA, because that's
I didn't.
where the region.
I didn't.
Well, Quirts and the squad were on there.
Milosh.
Beastly and Quirts on there.
All you. We didn't think that.
Take it away.
Go on, carry on.
Well,
please.
Quirts and Beastly, for example, 2 players that maybe Jolton also. You'd remember there, but the
Think of the Pokemon.
Oh, Jolteon, yeah, of course.
Yes.
My bad.
just like Dezachu.
Yes.
You see,
we-
you're not
we-
the
we
only
had that.
one. You think
what?
What?
you think you're special. But our Indonesian team has been doing pretty darn well. How bad?
Do they cut and edit this podcast?
No, which
Wait, they don't.
No. They just carry straight on.
yeah.
Why?
So all the random
that
crap.
Huh?
Want to drink that?
Why
John?
you can't?
I know.
Unless Milosh is talking, then they can put the camera on Milosh.
Yeah, hey.
Can you go for an extreme close-up on me,
What's
though?
up? What's up?
I need some
Hello, everybody.
sugary beverage.
I hope you're doing
unbranded.
well. I'd just like to remind you that this, what you're watching or listening to right now, is the Prepface podcast, the unofficial podcast of Rainbow Six Esports, presented and brought to you by Predator Gaming.
Oh wait, we starting the whole thing over again?
No. Well, I mean, we can. Honestly, I'm having fun.
Like
Hey, it's me, Tom Clancy.
I do have a lot of fun with you
called
guys, so.
55 Bullets, 5.56. The characters don't have names. I just write about the guns.
And the CIA and how it's good to overthrow government.
I'm Tom Clancy.
Anyway,
Yeah,
yeah, that's a Tom Clancy thing.
yeah,
Listen, I enjoy writing my books. That's probably how Tom Clancy talks.
yeah. Exactly.
I love writing my books.
I've heard him talk just
Where's
like
your
that. Yeah.
Bostonian
Guns.
accent?
He's from Boston. I don't know if he's actually.
What are you?
I'm Tom Clancy. Ask me a question about any of my books.
Do you like guns?
I love them. That was an easy question. This is the star of my new book.
What's your favorite gun?
The biggest one. A rocket launcher.
Yeah, well,
Fantastic.
Des, unrelated. How
Please
was
be
it?
unrelated. Yeah.
That is the follow-up.
Go on.
How was wearing the
Oh, the roller
roller-
champions thing.
yeah the Roller
Yeah,
Champions?
It's down there. Yeah,
How was it wearing it yesterday?
it's all right. I was
wearing it?
so amused by the whole. Woo.
It was very-
What came over you to just randomly wear such a thing?
Honestly, there's no professionalism.
She did.
It was because I knew what would happen, was it would get on socials. Because I know the algorithm like that. I know what Bartosz is thinking.
You know, Bartosz is out.
Yeah,
know,
but
Bartosz.
I will
And
say
it becomes a sticker in our WhatsApp.
that's actually
two of them
exactly
now.
what happened within 10 minutes.
I'm playing the game.
But I'm wondering why nobody, Bartosz, by the way, Bartosz Hichłowski.
People need to know who Bartosz is, really.
Yeah, Bartosz is
Get him
fantastic.
on the
Ice
podcast.
Cold.
Can we interview
I would
Bartosz?
love to. I would love
That's
to.
a great idea.
I
He
always
knows so much.
at the
Yeah.
end of every event, I love spending half a day with him just going around places.
He hates it.
He told me explicitly.
He's like,
Is that this-
he just follows me.
This Milosh guy just keeps on. He just won't leave me alone.
just won't leave me alone. It's like a little puppy dog. Like, oh, should we have hummus?
That's actually something I would say. Oh no, don't bring that up.
Yeah, no, I tagged him in a post specifically to irritate him before.
Yeah,
the show
somebody
yesterday.
made hummus, but for those that don't know, hummus is one of the national dishes of Lebanon.
delicious Lebanese cuisine slaps.
which what it basically is just boiled chickpeas,
Yeah.
pureed with tahini, which is sesame.
real good.
We dip like carrots and celery
Ah,
and
it's
stuff.
real good.
You can dip. I don't care about that
On
part.
weather like
Breadsticks.
this,
Oh,
perfect.
Yeah.
that is true.
So good.
So, I mean, usually do it with chickpeas. Sometimes you'll see it mixed with some fava beans that make up like a third of the whole piece, but that's a specific one. However, Emie, bless her soul, tagged me in a post yesterday that
Their account's private, so I'm not going to name them.
Yes.
But it is someone from the Siege community.
from the Middle East,
From the Middle East.
a very good friend of mine.
Yeah. great person.
And who posted this apparently account on TikTok who made, was it chicken? It was chicken breast that looked as white as the person doing it. Boiled peas.
It wasn't that funny.
I knew it would set him off yesterday. And
Yeah.
I'm glad it's coming out now.
He sounded offended by the chicken, to be fair.
Yeah, well-
Boiled peas and a lot of oil
Right.
and lemon juice.
yeah.
And at
right,
the
that.
end,
What?
you're a terrible person. I'm just going to move on from that to kind of wrap up this part of the show.
You're right. That was unrelated to Tom Clancy.
It was, yeah. I'm not sure if I'm happier
love
or
hummus.
sadder for it. Stop.
Rolling in his grave right now. Oh, well.
Carry on.
Wrapping things up for us here. Expectations then for Europe first, because, I mean, Super Week, so we have Thursday that'll come out after that Thursday day. Do you think that we'll have a break in the top four? Finally, somebody will come up in there other than the top four who right now, just to remind you of said four teams. They're Wolves, Rogue, Heroic, and M&M. 12 points for Rogue, Heroic, and Eminem. BDS and Navi are at 9 points each. And next play day, guess who plays? Well, BDS plays Eminem. That's going to be a big one.
Navi Rogue plays Heroic.
Yeah.
Rogue plays Heroic. Navi plays Wolves.
Yeah, big day.
What do I think?
I think the top 4 as they are stay now, and that they are the 4 teams I think based on how they've performed so far that I'd want to go. Like Navi are kind of on the up. Am I convinced they're sharp enough to deliver on a big stage? No. BDS I think need a bit of a kick in by not going to the major to say it's time to change.
It would help them. I think that's the thing is for my money, Eminem and BDS I think would perform probably the same caliber as the major. I think
Eminem would do better.
I would be
even
like,
after
I think for me, I think Eminem they're still sort of finding their teeth. It's on and up and up. It's like the same thing with like Reject from APAC North, maybe a little bit less explosive.
Yeah,
true.
Is Eminem is still going up and up and up. I love the team. I love the team to bits. They know this. I know this.
I called them like a mini TSM back at SI when they didn't play at 10 a.m. When they played at 10 a.m., it was terrible. They were
Honestly,
the games they lost.
The days that they played in the afternoon, they slapped everybody.
That's it. I said they're like a mini TSM because they had the same structure as TSM where they had the front 3 of Tyrant, Users, and Solitov, and then Neo and Nello in the back line. It was just like TSM. Huh?
It's a 3-1-1?
No, it's a 3-2. Come on, Milosh.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I want the 4 that we've got now to stay as they are. Please.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Do you have different thoughts?
No, I said okay, like we can do that.
Oh, thanks. I'm glad you can arrange that for me. Cheers. Right, nice. Excellent.
I'll get that.
Appreciate that.
Down.
So there you go. Otherwise, good luck to everybody that's actually competing for the top 4 in the region, but also to the teams in Copa Elite Six. Again, 4 teams from Brazil, 2 from Sudamericano, and then 2 teams from Mexico. Honestly, I pray so much for a Brazilian loss in it because I think it's really needed.
Screw the Brazilians, I guess.
I love that. I pray for your downfall.
No, because 4 out of the 8 teams make it to the major in Berlin.
Just imagine him later tonight just in front of his bed, just like, please don't let the Brazilians get through to the event. Please.
I showed up at my haters' funeral just to make sure they were gone. Like that. Like
But 4 out of the 18, this is a double elimination bracket, by the way. So there is even more possibility for that to actually happen. Mm-hmm. However, it's not because I'm looking at Brazilian teams and thinking, oh, somebody shouldn't be there. But it's just, I just want to see Mexico and the entirety of the rest of the continent actually like there. And they got close so many times over the past year, but never there.
Fingers crossed for them.
Crossed for them. And of course, we can cross our fingers, but it depends on how well they play. So again,
and my toesies too. They're crossed as well.
Fingies and toesies.
Fingies and toasties. Toasties.
Fingies and toasty toasties.
Yeah, fingies and toasties. Well, on that note, my friends, thank you very much. Friends of the show, Dezachu and Fluke.
Word.
Are we the friends of the show, or are we?
What does it mean to be a friend of the show anyway?
It means you listen and watch.
No.
You subscribe.
Is it a way of kind of pulling you in to be feeling guilty that you have to watch and listen to all future episodes because you're a friend of the show?
I'm lonely.
This is why every time I see Emie, I tell Emie, I really missed you. Don't I always do that?
You do.
Which is very infuriating. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I have many possum memes to talk about this.
You do send me a lot. No, I love it. I love our friendship and the attention.
Mostly the attention.
Mostly the attention.
Very good.
There you go. Well, it's good to have everybody back on here. Fabian, we'll see. We'll see if he...
Oh, but he went back on the podcast again. I'm sure he'll say something naughty again.
He does have a lot of fun when he does it, though.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Unhinged Fabian.
Oh, he loves it.
I think he would have a lot of fun.
There you go. That's this part of the podcast done. And Dustin, thank you very much. It was very interesting, to say the least.
It was.
Des, Fluke, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for everybody for watching the prep phase. I know this one might have been a bit longer, but...
We talked a lot of crap.
Who cares? We have fun. So good luck to the editing team.
But they said it wasn't edited.
I don't know.
Oh.
They'll mix it, and that's about it.
We're just here to have fun, which is what
I'll deal with you leaning back and forth from the microphone all the time.
Well, no, I honestly like.
She was the one saying, "Oh, you're not supposed to actually count down."
You're kissing your microphone, and you keep touching it. You do the worst thing. Touching is the worst.
Yeah, grab it to speak like you're a rock star.
I'm grabbing it like this. This is
that's
fine.
Bad. Never touch the
Don't
microphone.
touch the microphone,
That sends
Milosh.
vibrations through it.
Odd.
Vibrations.
What if
are
it
the
likes the
biggest
vibrations?
explosives.
Anyways, thank you very much for watching the Prep Phase podcast, brought to you and presented by Predator Gaming. Good luck to the editing team on this one, and we will see you on the next one. I think neither one of us will be there.
No, I'm not.
Nor me.
none of
Oh,
us are
so
gonna
there you
go.
go.
We're all
Somebody
fired.
else will be taking this over and probably also having a lot of fun, because this is what we like to do here. That's it. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much, and leave your comments down below. Also, hope you're kind of enjoying this as you're working.
Milosh, this is the longest outro I've ever heard.
Milosh,
Please
I know,
I
just
suck
wrap
at
it
these.
up.
Thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.